is CTV News.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. It's certainly starting to feel like summer out there. A good time to be outside, maybe grab a drink. About a month ago, Ontario expanding bring your own booze laws to allow folks to carry a cold one around, but not much buy-in yet. CTV's Robert Lothian has been looking into this story for us tonight. Robert, seems many municipalities are opting to keep the rules as they are. Why?
Well, Travis, municipalities feel there's too much uncertainty to uncork a bring-your-own beverage permit right now. This kicked off last month with little time for officials to prepare ahead of the busy event season. And without enough information from Windsor to Chatham, municipalities are hesitant to take the first step. A pitch to crack a cold one of your own at community events hasn't seen the uptick many expected.
At the downtown market, we're not, getting feedback that we should be allowing people to, buy and consume at the market and that kind of thing.
Nearly 1 month since Ontario expanded BYOB permits to more outdoor events, there's been few takers. In Windsor, the city hasn't pitched any plans for that to change.
We're not sure that it's necessarily good for our downtown businesses if we start to, promote, open carry that you bought somewhere else.
The Ford government pitching it as a boost to local economies and a cut to costs.
We're talking about general venues, cultural venues outside. They should be able to have a glass of wine or a beer.
Legislation requires municipalities to draft a bylaw before events can apply for permits. Following consultations, Chatham-Kent isn't moving forward with a bylaw of its own.
There wasn't a clear benefit for special event organizers because a lot of them are getting revenue from sales of alcohol. And then against that, there's an increased liability concerns.
Of the 17 event organizers providing feedback to the municipality, 15 say they wouldn't consider the permits. A big reason is the uncertainty around safety and liability.
With the BYO model, it's currently unclear to us and it's unclear to the special event organizers how to best manage that for the safety of the community.
Both McLeod and Bodner say they'll wait to see if other municipalities are willing to take the leap.
We would certainly like to see it kind of confined to, smaller functions where it wouldn't make sense for a licensee to get involved.
So I think at this moment, we're curious about how that may play out in places that do allow BYO, but we don't have the solution yet.
Even without the bylaws, officials say many community events still have options for cold drinks through licensed providers. Most importantly, though, they're urging residents not to show up with drinks of their own, as that is, of course, still prohibited. Travis.
Thank you, Robert. That's CTV's Robert Lothian with our top story tonight. We're getting a rare look inside Windsor Assembly tonight as Stellantis talks up the future of the plant. CTV's Bob Belichico says it comes as questions continue about where the industry heads next.
We want to continue to make sure that we're doing the right things to set ourselves up for the future.
Part of Stellantis' brain trust was at the Windsor Assembly plant today, including the head of Chrysler Canada, Trevor Longley.
It's an important thing for not only us here at Stellantis, but for the country and for our, our economy here.
I was, incredibly optimistic after hearing the speakers talk here today.
Longley telling workers the company has invested $1.9 billion into the plant in recent years to modernize the facility.
Make it ready for electrification and platform flexibility. For me, that just means that we're preparing for the future.
We can flex production to meet demand as it evolves and it changes.
Last week, Stellantis unveiled a 5-year, $70 billion plan to accelerate growth and profit. More than half of that money will be spent in North America.
I think what you saw at Investor Day is that there's a lot of new models coming for the North American brands, and so that produces opportunities for where we put those models.
And that is especially important with Canada opening up the market to Chinese vehicles. Unifor Local 444 President James Stewart would like to see some of that investment come to Windsor, but more importantly, he'd like to see the space at the assembly plant maximized.
We started it in Windsor again with a third shift. So if you can get to 1,500 units a day with enough product, it doesn't have to be one product that sells a ton. It's an accumulation.
Stewart feels there's room in the industry to encourage offshore suppliers to boost vehicles together.
Share some technology and produce vehicles under different nameplates. I think that's the way you're going to fully maximize facilities anymore in countries like Canada.
Over 16 million minivans have been sold globally. With the third shift, there are now 6,000 workers at the assembly plant.
We have a lot of faith in Windsor. We have a lot of faith in the people and employees here. And frankly, all of the stuff that we're starting to see is really good signs for production in North America.
Bob Belichico, CTV News.
And Stellantis is hoping a fresh look will help keep its Windsor-built minivan competitive.
We're here to celebrate, and we're here to recognize that beautiful product behind us, the 2027 Pacifica.
The automaker showcased its refreshed Chrysler Pacifica at Windsor Assembly today, featuring updated styling, new technology, and enhanced safety features. Stellantis says the redesign is part of its plan to grow the minivan segment, with the 2027 Pacifica now starting to arrive at dealerships across Canada. A minivan, though not a Pacifica, involved in a crash yesterday that's resulted in charges. Police say the 38-year-old woman behind the wheel of the van has been charged with careless driving causing bodily harm after the vehicle allegedly struck two parked cars on Jefferson Boulevard yesterday afternoon, then crashed into a tree, hurting her passenger. The passenger was taken to hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. In other news, a Windsor rideshare driver is facing a sexual assault charge after police say a passenger was assaulted during a ride last month. Investigators say the driver allegedly made unwanted sexual advances and touched the woman in a sexual manner while parked on Askin Avenue. A 30-year-old man has been charged. A Bell River massage therapist convicted of sexual assaults is now waiting to learn his sentence. Jeffrey Young was in court today for a sentencing hearing after being convicted of 7 counts of sexual assault and 1 count of mischief. The Crown is seeking 5 years in prison, while Young, who is representing himself, asked the judge for house arrest and probation. A decision is expected July 29th. And a Windsor police officer recently disciplined in one case is still facing another. CTV News has confirmed Constable Joshua Smith remains suspended with pay despite a recent demotion tied to a criminal harassment case involving a female co-worker. Smith is also facing a separate charge of uttering threats and is scheduled to stand trial later this year. Well, a welcome sign at Windsor gas pumps today with a 10-cent drop for Thursday and another 3-cent drop forecast for Friday. That means the average price of regular gas heading into the weekend will be $1.70.9 per liter, which is kind of crazy to say is a welcome price to pay. And as CTV's Andrew Johnson reports, Canadians across the country are sick of the roller coaster ride.
Varun Sharma is spending $500 per week right now gassing up his cab.
Still lucky I'm driving hybrid, but it really hurts.
But after months of eye-popping prices fueled by the war in Iran, drivers in many parts of the country are getting a bit of a break.
Finally, a little bit of good news when it comes to filling your tank.
Drivers in Toronto were greeted this morning with $173.9 on the sign, the lowest price since April. The reason? A drop in oil prices over optimism the U.S. and Iran are close to a deal. And issues at refineries in the U.S. Midwest that supply Ontario have now been cleared up. As drivers in many parts of Ontario and Quebec revel in this dip on the gas price roller coaster, here in Vancouver, people are still paying on average well over $2 per liter. In fact, as prices fall back east, they're actually rising on the West Coast. What gives? Experts say it's now BC dealing with refinery trouble. A disruption in California coupled with Canada's highest gas taxes have forced people at this station to cough up $2.14.9 per liter.
How much does it cost to fill your tank?
Well over $100, like 130, 100 probably.
Finally, what Gas Buddies Patrick DeHaan calls the million-dollar question, where people are paying less, how long could it last?
100% contingent on what comes of these negotiations between the U.S. and Iran. There probably has not been such a major impact to supply in my career, exceeding 25 years.
It's no million-dollar answer, but the one Canadians will just have to live with. Andrew Johnson, CTV News, Vancouver.
Food, music, and culture from around the world are about to take over Windsor, Essex as Carousel of the Nations returns for its 51st year.
It takes literally about 10 months to get to this stage before we're ready to launch. So it takes a lot of time, a lot of volunteer hours, a lot of planning, a lot of coordinations, a lot of communications. It's a labor of love. We love doing it at the Multicultural Council. Our cultural villages love doing it. And we just love bringing it to the people of Windsor, Essex every year.
42 cultural communities will open their doors for this year's festival, with villages stretching across Windsor, LaSalle, Amherstburg, Harrow, Kingsville, and Leamington. Organizers officially launched the event today at the Chicharo Club as dance groups and volunteers gear up for 2 weekends of food, music, and traditions from around the globe. Carousel runs June 12th to 14th and June 19th to 21st.
Our heritage is very important because it says who we are, where we come from, and it's very important to preserve that and pass it on to our children and grandchildren.
CTV meteorologist Gary Archibald has your full weather details coming up in 2 minutes' time.
When I got there, I saw a little baby fawn, I guess, walking towards me. I bent down, started petting it, and I heard more noise. And I saw a second baby deer there.
And still ahead, a sad scene on a rural roadside turned into an unexpected rescue for 2 tiny fawns. Let's take a look at the forecast with CTV meteorologist Gary Archibald. And Gary, we are talking sunshine, sunshine, sunshine.
You're right about that. Good evening, Travis. Good evening, folks. Sunny and warm tomorrow. In fact, today, comfortable, around 20 degrees Celsius in Windsor, Essex, and the surrounds. Humidity was low in the 40s. Whenever you see humidity 65 up, you know it's going to be one of those sweltering days. It just has not been, and we welcome that. No complaints. So 20 degrees felt like about 20. And our average high for this time of the year is now creeping up very close to 23. So we were slightly cooler than seasonal. Tonight, we actually are going to get cooler than our average low of about 12 degrees, down to about 6 before dawn. Ridge of high pressure is keeping things relatively clear. That's why you're not seeing much in terms of cloud cover, and certainly not any real precipitation whatsoever throughout the lower Great Lakes. So what's in store the next 24 hours? Not much, just a northerly wind out of the northwest. And with that, some cool, dry air. The overnight temperatures, look at this. Toronto, you got that heat island effect when you have a lot of concrete and pavement over a metropolitan area. It just sort of traps a lot of that heat, that insulation. The local areas in and around London, Kitchener, Waterloo will also be near 6 or 7 degrees Celsius. London at the airport is projecting 5. So it's going to be a cool evening, but a clear one, a beautiful starry night. And the wind is calm, so break out your binoculars, your telescopes, and take advantage of the scenery above. Tomorrow, it's all about replaying today. Just a bit breezier in the afternoon and certainly warmer. Again, today's high was close to 20. We'll be up to 28, nowhere near a record. Records right now at this time of the year are closer to about 35. But 28 will feel at worst, maybe 29, 30. So again, warm, but not uncomfortable. Just use that sunscreen throughout the day. UV rating is very high at 9. Of course, wearing sunglasses to protect your eyes from UVA and UVB. Energy is a good idea as well. So sunny and warm. Above seasonal, and then we cool down to seasonal, but comfortable and beautiful. The weekend, sunny both days, Saturday and Sunday, 22 degrees apiece, and then 22 to start next week for work. Not so bad. 22 on a fair weather Tuesday, Wednesday, 23 fair and mostly sunny a week from now, up to 26. So there you have it. You can't miss the sunshine icons. Can I sneak in here? Yeah, you see that? It's beautiful, isn't it? Everywhere, behind me too. It's gorgeous. Travis, let's look at your weather.
Thank you, Gary. Up the 401, police north of Orangeville say a school bus driver has been charged with stunt driving, allegedly going 100 kilometers an hour in a 50 with kids on board. Officers say in Mulmer they saw a bus speeding around 4 p.m. on Tuesday. They pulled the vehicle over and spoke to a 56-year-old woman who was behind the wheel. In addition to the stunt driving charge, she's also charged with speeding 50 kilometers per hour over the posted limit and failing to surrender her license. And if you play the lottery regularly, which almost half of Ontario's adult population does, this next story will be of interest to you. CTV's Pat Foran reports on the fight one woman has had to go through to claim her prize.
She's been disappointed a bit, I can tell. She can't go out shopping and spend her windfall.
Brian Burrows of London says his 98-year-old mother, Jessie, has been frustrated trying to cash in her winning $1,000 scratch and win ticket. She hit the jackpot in early April.
Well, I was excited. I thought, this is terrific. I can pay off my visa. But I've had real trouble getting it.
While prizes of $999 or less can be paid out by a retailer if they have the money available, winnings of $1,000 or more are processed through the OLG Prize Center.
When I went to the store to get it, they told me they couldn't give me $1,000.
If you win over $1,000 in the lottery, you need valid ID to collect it. You can't use your Ontario health card, but you can use your driver's license, passport, or Ontario photo card. But it has to be up to date and not expired. Jessie no longer drives and her passport is no longer valid.
I took pictures of the ticket front and back and the pictures of her ID, but they said her passport was expired.
Brian just wants his mother to collect her rightful prize.
She's 98 and she's a very law-abiding person all her life, worked hard all her life, and here she is, and she wins $1,000 and she's still waiting for it.
CTV News reached out to the Ontario Lottery and Gaming Corporation, and a spokesperson said the Prize Center arranged to have OLG investigators visit her at her home, confirm her identity, and complete the prize claim. Miss Burrows was declared the rightful owner of the ticket and is being paid her $1,000 prize. That was great news for Jessie, who says she plans to pay off her credit card bill and maybe try her luck with one more scratch-off ticket. Pat Foran, CTV News.
Prime Minister Mark Carney addressed a group of elite business leaders in New York today, saying a strong Canada will, quote, help make America great again. With more on his not-so-subtle speech, here's CTV's Graham Richardson.
In the heart of the world's financial capital, Prime Minister Mark Carney delivered his message of change in Canada. This is the Economic Club of New York, where presidents and prime ministers have come to speak for more than 100 years. Carney never mentioned President Donald Trump by name, but he didn't have to.
Canada Strong will help make America great again.
Whether it's LNG announcements, potential new pipelines, or boosting defense spending, Carney told the home of big American money the story of a different Canada under his leadership.
That future should include a new partnership with Canada, a true partnership that reimagines cooperation in specific sectors that are deeply challenged by global competition. A partnership with a different Canada, a stronger Canada, a more confident Canada.
Back in Ottawa, a different perspective from the opposition, accusing the Liberals of chasing investment away for years.
His elbows were again flapping up and down in the rhetorical chicken dance as he cannot seem to decide if integration with the U.S. is a strength or a weakness. He's argued passionately for both positions in the last 3 months alone.
Carney also spent a significant amount of time here on Canada's military spending, especially in the north.
We did need to step up to take more responsibility for Arctic security. We're doing that now.
And support for Ukraine in a conflict he says is significantly tilting against Russia.
But Russia's losing 35,000 troops a month. 22 to 23, depending on the month, of those troops are killed. They're losing troops faster than they can replace them.
So no mention of Donald Trump by name, but Justin Trudeau's name didn't come up either. Mark Carney signaling to American business Canada is open for business again, hoping they'll hear it, and also hoping the audience of one in the White House heard it too. Graham Richardson, CTV News, New York.
In Toronto, the TSX gained 106 points today. In New York, the Dow added 25 and the Nasdaq is up 243. The Canadian dollar gained more than 1/10 cent. Gold is up almost $51 an ounce, and oil added 22 cents a barrel. CTV News Windsor has launched a newsletter helping you start your day with the latest local news. By signing up, you'll get direct local content straight from CTV Windsor to your inbox, including top stories, the forecast, and videos. You can sign up at ctvnewswindsor.ca. It is Friday Junior, as some like to call it, so it's time to start thinking about how you'll spend your weekend. For some ideas, we ask CTV's Melanie Kentner and Johnny Parks of 89X, what's up, YQG?
Yes, finally, mums get a night out. Now, Johnny, even though you don't have kids, maybe you could learn a thing or two about what your mom went through raising you.
Trust me, I know it was not easy for Mama Parks, but we're here with Jill. Can you tell us more about Mom Said Duck?
Yeah, absolutely. So I have a live show coming up here this Friday, and it's at the beautiful Capitol Theatre. The show starts at 7 p.m., and it's a great night of laughs. There's tons of local giveaways. We go through a lot of the mundane stuff that moms go through and try to turn it into a laugh. So whether it be, you know, poopy diapers or packing school lunches or toddler tantrums, we try to make it a laugh instead of a cry.
There was a time that I would shout, "Bartender, make it a double." But my mother tongue has changed to "lid that marker or you're in trouble."
Now, comedian Dre is also with you, and he's a dad too. Do you guys go through some of like your real life stories that you guys went through?
Yeah, that's where all the inspiration is pulled from, for sure. So you'll hear, we definitely laugh at our kids' expense. That's the whole night, essentially. So it's an adults-only show, cash bar.
This is not water.
And it's just a great night out, for sure.
Now, again, I don't have kids. You said adults only, but people without kids also welcome too?
Absolutely. So one of my favorite compliments that I get after a show is that when someone says, "I'm not even a mom and I had an awesome time."
A standing O! Woo-woo!
So definitely, it's anybody who's seen a kid tantrum in a store, you've seen it, you get it, you get the joke.
And where can we get tickets?
Yeah, so you can get tickets at the box office at the Capitol Theatre. You could get them through my website, momsaidduck.com, find the link, or you could go to the Capitol's events page as well.
Great. Well, we'll put all the links on our website. Thank you so much, Jill, and I'm so glad that you were giving us mums a night out. Now, Johnny, we do have a couple other events to talk about, including one that I've been training for months.
Yeah, I got to get working on my sign. Last year, I made this great sign for your marathon that said, "May the course be with you." So I got to cook up some good ideas for the Peely Island Half Marathon.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I think we could just like bring back that sign. And I mean, my goal is I just have to make it around the island and to the winery. That's it. So, but I know you're like kind of an avid biker. Maybe biking's more your thing.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm as good as the people who will be competing in the Tour de Via Italia this weekend, but I do love to bike.
That's true, but I've seen your bike, so I don't know if it can make it. What about some live music going on this weekend?
Cherry Rock Lounge, always a great time. Friday, we got Max Life Crisis. And then on Saturday, Deadly Romantics.
So something for everybody, some live music, some comedy, exercise. It's going to be great. So what's up, YQG?
Discussion here at Windsor City Hall.
Windsor's top stories.
A major project is about to get underway.
Breaking news alerts.
Severe weather is a possibility.
And watch live.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us.
Download the CTV News app.
Gary is back with another look at the 7-day forecast. And Gary, what a lovely 7-day forecast it is.
You're right about that, Travis. It's gorgeous outside, right? Beautiful. And it just keeps on keeping on. The continuation of this ridge of high pressure is, well, rather grand, isn't it? Sunny tomorrow, beautiful day, even better in the morning. It's comfortable, right? It'll be mid-teens, say around 9, 10 a.m. Up to 28, warmer than seasonal, yeah, above average, but still comfortable because humidity is low, relatively speaking, and that's why we're not sweating it out. Weekend, just cooler but seasonal, what we would expect at this time of year, and sunny and more sunshine Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, warming up a bit. And still, if we see any cloud cover to go along with the sunshine, it's of the fair weather variety. That's a look at your weather. Enjoy it all, folks. And I'll see you next time. Travis?
Thank you, Gary. Finally tonight, a pair of tiny fawns are getting a second chance after police found them huddled in the grass along a southwestern Ontario roadside. CTV's Rita Ismail has the story.
Hidden in the grass along a rural roadside, a tiny fawn takes its first steps. Nearby, where its mother was sadly struck and killed by a vehicle.
Looped around and to make sure the deer was deceased. Didn't want a deer suffering on the side of the road. And when I got there, I saw a little baby fawn, I guess, walking towards me. I bent down, started petting it, and I heard more noise. And I saw a second baby deer there.
That's when Fawnville called for backup, blankets, and a temporary rescue operation began.
We wrapped him up and brought him back to the station. And a couple of the other officers Googled how to take care of baby fawns. So when they got back, they were able to help take care of them.
Okay,
look at your come on over there.
At the detachment, officers quickly switched from policing to caregiving. Soon after, the animals were transferred to Hobbesley Wildlife Refuge, where they're now receiving specialized care.
In calf hutches right now, they're in quarantine for the next 2 weeks. And then once they have cleared quarantine, they go into a really large enclosure that is more like natural habitat but fenced in. And we continue to provide them with care, but they are also doing more natural things like browsing and grazing. And that's sort of the process until they're old enough to be on their own, and which will be somewhere around mid-September.
White-tailed deer are currently in fawning season across southwestern Ontario, with most births happening between late May and early summer. The refuge sees many young deer this time of year, often because their mothers have been killed by vehicles. But there's another growing problem.
Another really big cause of fawns having to come into care is literally people abducting fawns. If the fawn is not actively bleeding, laying next to a dead mom, or looks terrible, then we leave it alone.
The two fawns are expected to remain at the wildlife refuge for several months before eventually being released back into the wild. Rita Ismail, CTV News.
And fun fact, for at least part of those fawns recovery process, they were down here in our area at Wings Wildlife Rehab in Amherstburg. That's our time for tonight. I hope you'll join us tomorrow. For now, I'm Travis Fortnum. Take care.